Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. It's Zoe, your fave adventure therapist, and welcome back to Travel Talk Tuesdays. I know guys, it's been a little bit since I put out our last video of Travel Talk Tuesdays, but the only thing I can say is it's 2020. I know, not a valid excuse, but just with everything that's been going on with COVID and racial unrest and this whole election stuff, I just felt like I needed to take a little bit of time away to make sure that my mental well-being was being taken care of. So I'm going to do my best to get us back on track with weekly videos every single Tuesday. So stay tuned. Okay, so I was thinking, what could I talk about today? And I thought, you know what? Over the last month, I've actually had the opportunity. I've been doing my best to be socially distant and stay home as much as possible. But last month, my best friend got married, so I was able to fly to the wedding. So it was just back home. I'm from Oklahoma. So it was a quick direct flight from Atlanta to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I thought, I haven't actually been home in a whole year. Like, that's crazy to think about. This pandemic has really changed the dynamics of how we're able to interact with people, where we can go. So I hadn't seen my family and some of my closest friends in almost a year, since last Thanksgiving. So when I got home, I always feel like when I go home, things are a little bit different. So I feel like I'm always having to get used to what it's like in my hometown. So I thought our topic should be how to be a tourist in your own city. So the first thing I thought of was getting a new perspective. So depending on what time you normally wake up, whether you're an early riser, not me, or whether you're a night owl, going out and exploring the city at a time different than you normally would, you might find that the city looks a little bit different. Depending on what time you decide to go out, you might be met with different crowds of people, different events and happenings in the city going on. You never know what you're going to expect until you step out and try it. So one way that I like to do this is by visiting a lookout point. And so a lookout point could be at a park, like a bridge that overlooks the city and gives you the scenic city skyline view. It could be on a hiking trail where you're getting a view from a mountaintop, or one of my personal favorites is going into one of those huge skyscraper buildings where you can peer out into the city from the very top floor. Now Atlanta has this restaurant called the Sundial. Amazing food, but even better views. So it's in a glassed restaurant where the floor actually circulates around and you can see the entire city view while you're having dinner or drinks. And it's so much fun. And another thing that I realize makes a huge difference is by taking a walk. Sometimes when we're driving, I know we just get on autopilot and we miss a lot of things that are happening. But when we take the time to walk to our destinations or take a stroll around the park or a new location, we're gonna catch things and we're gonna be a lot more mindful of what's happening around us. And it's gonna give us a new perspective of what we see every single day. Another way to be a tourist is by actually joining a local tour. Now I know it might sound pretty cliche, but there's no better way to learn about your city than by experts who literally talk about it all the time. Sometimes you're gonna get a history lesson, sometimes you're gonna get a new and interesting hands-on experience that you probably wouldn't have gotten if you would have went on your own. And there are different types of tours. You can go with a guided tour, or you could go on a self-walking tour. As we mentioned before, walking is always a good option to slow down and to see what the city has to offer. Either way, you're gonna get information that you might have missed on a regular day in your routine. Now, with me living in Atlanta, it's like another Hollywood hub. A lot of movies and TV shows are filmed here. So a cool and interesting thing to do would be to see what your city is actually known for and going out and doing it. For me, I love The Walking Dead and I love Stranger Things. Both of those are filmed here. So you can go on tours that are specially curated for you to be able to experience what life is like on the set of these amazing shows and movies. It's like tracing the footsteps of a celebrity or an artist. But a lot of destinations, especially in larger cities, have what are called city passes, where they bundle in all the top attractions for one low cost price. So it saves you time and money. So our third option is by checking out Instagram or blogger pages for their itinerary. Now, this may seem a little bit weird, but I promise you, you're probably going to find some hidden gems that you never would have thought of. Instagram has all of the best locations for those Instagrammable photos that have colorful murals and backgrounds and artwork. And then bloggers will give you insights on restaurants that you could visit or other locations that are off the beaten path. And with following a blogger's itinerary, a lot of times when they're trying to figure out what to see in their next destination, a lot of people throw out different recommendations. That's multiple sources of information coming in and channeled all into one space. So you're getting your review right there of what you should see and what you shouldn't see. And I think that is going to give you a perspective of people that actually live near you. And you can search different types of itineraries, specially curated for what you're looking for. All it takes is a Google search or Pinterest, that's my favorite. And lastly, book a staycation. Get a nice hotel or an Airbnb that's near the city center. This is going to ensure that a lot of your destinations are probably going to be within walking distance, so you'll get the real tourist effect. Who knows, you might even run into another visitor from another place, and they might share with you what's on their itinerary, some things you might not have thought to explore. So make sure that you've got your cameras with you, you've got your notepads to make sure that you're checking off all of the things on your to-do list, your must-see list, your must-try list, and happy touristing! I'll see you guys next week for Travel Talk Tuesdays. Bye!